What's up, y'all? So today I want to talk about what I like to call the microwave generation. So at my house, maybe 2 months ago now, my microwave broke. So I came home one day with some leftovers or something to eat, and my microwave was broken. And it was late at night. I was like, okay, well, I'll just, I'll buy one later. Went to sleep, woke up. Long story short, I didn't buy one. I just didn't buy one. I haven't bought one. And so this is what I wanted to talk to you today about. So now we know what a microwave is, right? Obviously. Microwave is a small little device or electronic device that has been used to make food more convenient, or to prepare food more conveniently, should I say, faster and possibly more efficiently. But we have to speak about that efficient part. So now, yes, a microwave does prepare your food faster and it can be then deemed more convenient. But we have to look at a microwave versus, say, an oven or a stove. So when I broke my microwave, the first thought that came to mind was, how am I going to live without my microwave? Sadly, that was my first thought. How am I going to live without this microwave? And it wasn't until maybe 3-4 days, maybe a week into it, that I realized, wow, I don't need a microwave. I don't need it. Now, this is why I want to talk to you, because now that it's been 2 months, I can reevaluate and realize I never needed the microwave to begin with. And the convenience and the ease in which I was able to prepare my meals isn't necessarily that much of a benefit for me to where I need this microwave. In the same vein, we have to understand that one of the downsides to microwaves are that it uses certain radioactive technology, certain sound frequencies, and certain frequencies basically that degrades the integrity of your food. So say you have, leftover Thanksgiving dinner. You got some nice turkey, you got some protein, you got your starches, you got your calories, you got your vegetables, right? Everything that contains the energy that is used to then refuel your body. But when you put this into the microwave, a large number of the beneficial qualities of your food are being degraded, are being reduced. So this means, yeah, your food it might still physically look the same, it might still have the same appearance, but the elements inside of the food, the vitamins, the nutrients inside of the food has been degraded. Therefore, when you eat it, you're not getting as much as you should. So that's what happens with the microwave. And although we look at the benefits of having it fast and having it easy, we hardly ever look at the actual downsides or the cons of having something at such ease and so fast. So this is why I've labeled, or I haven't been the only one to label, but this is why I like to call the generation that we're in the microwave generation, because I did a video recently about the age of information, where we basically speak on how the current era that we're in right now is basically dominated by the internalization and the computerization of information, right? So when we look at this generation that we're in, when I call it the microwave generation, it means basically it's a generation of people, young and old, but mainly and predominantly younger people, right, who have grown up in a microwave generation, who only know the microwave, and they only know a time in which things come instantaneously to them. So when you look at a microwave versus an oven, say, you can have the same food, but the oven will take maybe 30 minutes to cook the food, whereas you can have it at the same temperature in 3 minutes in a microwave. So a normal human being, of course, is going to look, and without understanding the context or understanding the pros and cons, they're going to say, well, time is valuable. Why would I waste 27 more minutes on this oven trying to get it to, 30 minutes when I could just have it done in 3 minutes. That's what the normal human being would do. Let's be honest. Nobody's going to go out of their way to spend more time on something if they don't see the benefit in it. So this is why our generation has been considered the microwave generation. But with that, we have to say a few things. We have to understand that it's not completely our fault. Now, we do have some blame and we do have some things to be accountable for, but is it our fault that if all we know is a microwave? My sons are, varying ages, but my youngest son is 2 years old. He just turned 2 and he knows how to use my phone almost better than me. He goes to play basketball on the game. He pulls out the camera to record himself, and he understands how to use a phone. Now, when I was 2 years old, did I know how to use this type of phone, a touchscreen cell phone? No, because we didn't have it. So what I'm saying that is to say, these children are being born into a technological age and where they are able to access information very rapidly. That's a harsh contrast to times before where the internet wasn't available and we weren't able to connect and receive and transmit information on a high scale, on a fast scale. So now when we talk about the microwave versus the oven, this is the analogy that I'm using. We have an older generation who is used to washing their dishes by hand as opposed to the dishwasher. They're used to cooking their food on the stove and having it then and there as opposed to putting it in the microwave. They're used to putting it in the oven if they want to reheat it as opposed to putting it in the microwave for 3 minutes. Now, does this make one better than the other as far as the generation? No. But we have to make a connection. We have to make sure to make the connection between a younger and older generation. So now what has happened is an older generation who was raised on the stove and prepared their food and took the time to prepare their food, which is a good thing because, of course, we mentioned the integrity of the information that you're digesting. So food is nothing but information. We're always digesting information, whether it's the food that we eat, whether it's the media that we watch, the sounds that we listen to and digest. So when we're eating food, we can call that digesting information, right? So when we say an older generation, we have to understand that this older generation before us was used to cooking on the stove. So when they eat their food, their integrity of their food is still intact and they get what they need. Whether it took 30 minutes or it took an hour or it took 3 minutes, they were able to wait because they understood that the patience that goes along with waiting for your food is worth it when you understand the benefits that come with preparing that food in that manner. Versus a young generation who was raised on a microwave. They don't understand the necessity to use a stove. They don't understand that by putting your food in the microwave, although it may be done in 3 minutes, they don't understand that the integrity of the information that they're receiving from that food has been diminished. So like I said, it looks the same. It's still just as hot. But the information is not there. So when we look at this very, very simple analogy, we can see that there is a need for patience, right? We can see that there is a necessity to wait in times. So how I correlate this to life is that there's times in which information comes to you, and there's time in which you seek information. In both instances, you should be able to learn to have the patience to fully accept and digest the information and not just get it when you need. So that's why, yes, we have a Google generation who's so quick to just throw something in the search bar and the first link that comes up, they feel like they have the answer. And Google is a very useful tool, but we have to understand the necessity of actual research, the necessity of traveling and experiencing for yourself, the necessity of networking and conversing with like-minded and contrasting minds so that as you can test your hypotheses and your theories. These type of things can't come on Google. You can't experience life from Google. So now that we understand that we can't experience life from a textbook or from a quick Google search, we realize that many times in life, we have to use the oven approach. Although it may seem a little inconvenient or uncomfortable for us, we have to sometimes take time to preheat the oven, right? Take time to let the food thaw out. take time to place it in the oven, let the oven get to the right temperature, let it cook thoroughly. And then what you'll notice when you get your information out, whether it be food or whether it be any other form of information, when you take the time to prep it, right, meaning prepare it, and when you take the time to fully digest it, you'll see that it's more beneficial to you. So, again, I don't want to take too much of your time, but it's very important we notice this quick thing, this very simple analogy about the microwave generation. Again, it's not our fault that we were born with a microwave and we don't understand the significance of speaking, or should I say, utilizing other forms. That's why it is the older generation's responsibility. Now listen to this. It's the older generation's responsibility to not just talk down to the younger generation or to just reject the younger generation or belittle the younger generation because they want stuff fast. It's the responsibility of the older generation to correlate or to explain the significance of why you need patience, of why you should preheat the oven as opposed to using the microwave. Because again, a normal human being without proper information is going to utilize the fastest and most convenient thing available to him, unless he see that somehow that's going to cause him harm. Right? So we have to show why it's important to be patient, why it's important to have your due diligence, why it's important to research thoroughly, why it's important not to just get the first word on something, why it's important not to just accept the news as information, why it's important not to just Google search something, why you have to evaluate and reevaluate your personal claims, your personal theories all the time, so that you can make sure that the information that you're digesting is valid, is righteous, and is helpful and progressive for your evolution. So again, I don't want to take too much of your time. I love you, but remember, you don't need a microwave. Sometimes it's better to preheat the oven. Sometimes it's better to cook it on the stove and eat it right there. So thank you again. And you know what I need you to do? I'm going to need you to vibrate higher.